audio recordings on their website there, and that was Florence in conversation there, talking about the Braaid Eisteddfod with Katie Newton, and we let Dot Tilbury have a little listen to some of that. Did you know Florence, Dot?
I did, yes, yeah, and Robert Convig, he was a character, and of course the late great Ian Qualtrough.
Oh, of course, and Ian was very much sort of synonymous, along with yourself, with the Braaid Eisteddfod.
Very much so. When I came up back, I lived in London for a while, and when I decided to come back up to get a bit of Manx culture, and Laurie Kelly was the chairman, and Ian took over from Laurie, and of course Wendy was there then, but Wendy's got a nice story about the organ.
We're here with Wendy McDowell as well, who's of course the accompanist at the Eisteddfod.
I was sitting at this beautiful piano, electric piano, which was presented by Dot in memory of her mum, because we've had some very strange instruments in the past. There was an old piano, and then we had an organ. I remember playing on an organ, but this is, deluxe now. It's very lovely. Yeah.
And we're also joined over there, Beth is joined by Alan Wilcox, who of course has been performing at the Eisteddfod for many years.
And many people will know as a Cleveland Medal winner, but yes, a musical judge of the Eisteddfod. I mean, what a job that is, eh?
One of the jobs of the Isle of Man. I mean, you can be chief constable, but you don't get to be chief judge at the Braaid Eisteddfod very often.
Okay, so I asked Dot at the start of the programme to describe an Eisteddfod for anybody who has not yet been to one. I mean, is it possible to put it into words?
No. It's a night of homemade entertainment. And I'm not so sure there'll be many other places in the British Isles that can do what happens up here tomorrow night. Nobody knows who's coming. Nobody knows what they're going to do. Wendy will be at the piano, and luckily we've got people of the talent of Wendy who'll play no matter what you put in front of her. She'll play it. And people will produce music from all sorts of places. They'll tell all sorts of stories, some probably not fit to be told, but it's just one of those wonderful, how shall we put it, Manx nights.
And how long have you been involved with this for?
Oh dear, what a question to ask. I tried to work it out, funnily enough, this morning, and I've come to the conclusion that I first came up here to adjudicate round about 1970. I maybe before that, but I'm not too sure. I've done most years. There are 1 or 2 years, obviously, I haven't done, but for various reasons. But nearly every year since.
So to stand out to you then, Alan, what does somebody need to do?
They need to do their best. They need to come up here, do what they can to the best of their ability to entertain the public, right, and to enjoy themselves. Music is one of these things where if you don't, you're not here to educate anybody. You're here to entertain the public. And you're here to give them a good time. And if the public enjoy it, or the audience enjoy it, it's been a good night.
And over the years then, there must be some wonderful Eisteddfod memories that stick out for you. Have you got any that you can share with us that are clean for afternoon broadcast?
Well, one of the highlights, we don't have the characters on the island now like we used to have. Well, we've got 1 or 2. We had Goldie and Peel and people like that. But when Alfie Fail always used to come, and he worked for Gwen's in-laws on Glenloch Farm, and he'd come up from the pub about 10 o'clock at night, and you wouldn't dare have his class until Alfie got here. And as soon as he walked in, he always came in that door, and as soon as he came in there, he had to sing. And that was it. And he always sang the hippopotamus song, Mud, Mud, Glorious Mud. Always. And if you didn't give him a prize, by gum, you got to tell him off.
Well, and we are... Oh, sorry, Alan, I interrupted you there.
Go on.
No, I was just going to ask Wendy, who's also sitting here, what some of your favourite memories are, Wendy?
It's just a privilege to be here, to be honest. You go home and you've had this wonderful evening. It's side-splitting sometimes, you know, that everybody says what they think. It's, some of the characters. Walter always used to come up with his poem, same poem every year. And, of course, Ian was hilarious. Dot and Ian between them are the best dual comedy act I think this island has ever seen. Anybody ever seen their puppet the puppet and so on, ventriloquist. You know, there are so many lovely memories. Every year, there's some new young people arriving, and everybody just gets up and does their best. I mean, the hymn raising goes on for about an hour, doesn't it, Al?